What is going on, guys? My name is Sena and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be VOD reviewing an Ascendant 1 Sova player who should have won this game but ended up losing because of some mistakes. If you guys remember last VOD review, we reviewed a Jet player, but I wanted to switch it up this time and VOD review a different type of agent like Sova because I haven't really done that too much on the channel. Also, I want to apologize for my voice throughout this video. My throat isn't really feeling the best right now, so please bear with me. If you guys do end up enjoying this video, don't forget to drop a like down below and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all of the support that you showed on the last VOD review video. You guys are the best. Starting off with the pistol round here, our Sova decides to buy double shock darts and a ghost. I actually really like this buy because I feel like Sova's shock darts are incredibly powerful on pistol round, especially because of how low everyone is. Personally, I would opt for light shield instead of the ghost, but that's just me. He's starting off on the B site, which I love to see. Sova is much stronger on B than he is on A, so it's always great to see this. The round starts and it's immediately an A hit, so he starts rotating and he actually throws this dart lineup from spawn, which leads me to believe that he plays Sova a lot. This is a really nice lineup. I actually didn't know about this, but unfortunately it does end up getting broken and the team starts fighting and eventually it gets down to a 2v2. He shoots a shock dart at Jen, which I love to see. It's always great seeing this utility being used effectively. But then if you guys take a look, once he steps further out onto Heaven, you can see that Cypher is walled off behind a sage wall and tree. This means that Cypher cannot help him fight, and the best play here is to tuck and wait for Cypher to be able to fight with you before taking the 1v2, because you're just diminishing your chances of winning the round by taking this solo fight. If you look at chat here, Brim says they're both low, so Sova and Cypher definitely win this team fight together if they fight together here. Instead though, he puts himself out Heaven and exposes himself to a bunch of different angles and ends up getting picked off from A main. Cypher was actually waiting for the wall to break here, but was not vocal about this, causing the team play to be all out of whack. This round was honestly played pretty well, but it was this positioning that was the last piece that would have won them the round. While I don't agree with Cypher's play of sitting here and waiting for the wall to break, sometimes all you can do is play around your teammates. I learned this very quickly from my solo queue grind. You can't rely on your teammates to make plays, you have to make plays around them. Another really important concept that I don't see a lot of people talking about is how you should be calming more with the less amount of people that are alive on your team. It is now just you and Cypher in this round, so you don't have to worry about cluttering comms for the rest of your team, so you guys should constantly be talking here. Ask him if he can fight with you, if he can break the wall, tell him what utility you have, tell him what your plan is, just talk, talk, talk. By both of you guys sitting here and being silent, it caused this team play to be all messed up and caused you guys to throw this round that would have been so easy if you guys just coordinated and worked together. As soon as you see that Cypher cannot fight with you at all, it's important to immediately position yourself in an area that gives you the highest chance of surviving. I understand that it's unfortunate and unlucky that he ended up getting peeked from A main here, especially when there's no point of them peeking, and it might sound like I'm nitpicking this round here, but you guys have to understand that the higher you go in rank, the more nitpicky you have to be about these details, because these details is what's the difference between winning and losing a round. That's all I really wanted to say for the pistol round. So now let's move on to the next round, which is their save round. This round is an eco, meaning that everybody is saving with pistols. The most common mistake that I see on eco rounds is the mistake that they're making right now. If you guys look at the mini-map, look at how spread out this team is. They're all spread out as if this is a standard round where they all have rifles. On an eco, you want to either gamble stack all 5 players onto one site or work together as 5 to fight something like A main, B main, or mid. I'm not kidding when I say that this setup that they're doing gives them the lowest chance of winning the round possible. Let me repeat that so you guys understand. The way that they are playing this round gives them the absolute lowest chance of winning this round possible. I cannot explain to you guys how many eco rounds I've won with nothing but classics because all 5 of us rushed something. At this point, it's basically muscle memory for me to ask the team to 5-stack something as soon as we lose pistol round. Power in numbers is extremely important in Valorant, and 5-stacking a site with 5 classics could easily mow down a rush even if they have guns. Like I just mentioned, I have won countless rounds by doing this, so it's really sad to see them not doing this, and I almost guarantee you they lose this round. Surprise, surprise, they end up losing this round, and a lot of people think that once they lose pistol, second round is basically a guaranteed loss. It's important to get that out of your guys' heads, and you can definitely win it if you work together with your team. That's the most important part, is the teamwork aspect. So remember guys, if you lose pistol round or you're on a save round, either fight something together as 5 or stack a site. It'll go a really long way, trust me. Let's fast forward to round 4, where things start to go south and the enemy team begins to get a snowball effect. The defenders just took round 3, so this round is incredibly important to win to tie up the score and start building up their economy. First thing I want to mention about this round is that their buy is all over the place. 3 players are forcing while 2 players are saving. This unbalanced economy is never good and can easily cause problems for later rounds. As soon as the round starts, our Sova starts instantly rotating towards A since he thinks that they are trying to avoid B. KO starts rotating as well from mid, and this is leaving Cypher all alone on B with Reyna in market. Remember that their buy is all over the place, so Cypher is now soloing B with nothing but a sheriff, and they're starting to gamble stack A for no reason. Reyna gets too aggressive in mid and gets picked off, and they flood through market and pinch Cypher, and now they have a 5v3 with all of B site and mid control. This is a problem of over-rotating. Realistically, there was no need for both Sova and KO to rotate A here, and only one of them should have gone. I'm assuming Sova started rotating because he saw this gap that they were leaving in tree, but when he saw KO following him, he should have just gone back towards B. Sova is much better for holding down B, and that recon dart can stop an entire push, especially since he has an Odin. This A gamble costed them the round, and it's important to look at your radar and make sure that your team is spread out evenly while covering every choke point. Like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't help that their buy for this round was all messed up, and the combination of these two factors is what led them to lose this round and give the enemy team the leverage that they need to start the snowball effect. Moving on to round 5, Sova has his arrow out, ready to pop a scan for B main. KO seems to have the same idea and throws a knife at the start of the round. The problem here is that Sova still decides to shoot his dart without waiting for the KO scan to go through and ends up wasting it. When you have a double initiator comp, it's important to spread both of them out so you can get info a lot easier. Imagine if KO was knifing A main and Sova was darting B. The team would instantly have info about whether the team is trying to push a site or default towards mid. This is a very poor use of utility, especially when you have the luxury of a double initiator comp. If you have 2 initiators on your team, make sure that they're spread out as far as possible so that they can get info on both of the mains so they don't end up wasting their utility like in this clip here. The next round I want to talk about is much later in the game, and this is going to be round 18, which is an attack round. If you guys take a look at the map here, you see that the whole team spacing is very weird and they're running some sort of half default. Brim peeks tiles and then quickly goes back to B main, and the whole team regroups back in B main. Sova realizes this and tries to regroup with the team, but makes noise in mid and he ends up getting picked off from Cat. As you can see here, he literally has his entire kit of utility and his ult. With this double initiator comp that they have, their best bet is to either fast rush a site or do a mid-heavy default scaling up with this initiator utility. This early round spacing was awful and inadvertently got Sova killed because of this rotate. Rotating through spawn is always a safer option, and since he had his ult here, he could have just stayed in B main and played for his ult and wait for tap to secure the round. The team actually ends up winning this round, but it was so damn close and it could have easily gone either way. As an initiator, it's important to play close and play with your team so you can clear space for them. It didn't seem like there was any sort of plan at all for the beginning of this round, and everybody was just following each other. If you recognize that your team's spacing is off or there is no plan, as an initiator, it's best for you to call something because you have the utility to make it happen. Dying mid here with his entire kit was definitely a blunder, and it could have so easily been avoided by either having a plan for the round or by rotating through spawn and playing much safer since he has that ult that he can bank off of. The final round that I want to talk to you guys about is actually the last round of the game where they go overtime and they are on match point. The only call out that anybody said in the entirety of the buy round was "let's default" by Sova, and the team spreads out for a 2-1-2 default. I am not a fan of this spread because mid on Ascent is incredibly value to take and nearly impossible to take as a solo player. Reyna solo walking up mid here and being able to find value is a gamble to say the very least, and the extremities on Ascent are very easy to hold for defenders. If you guys notice also, both initiators are partnered up, which is really bad for a default, and overall this team's utility is spread out very unevenly. Fast forward a little bit into the round and the B main players get smoked off and decide to rotate back towards mid, which is much better because now they have 3 people in mid. Reyna ends up dying and getting traded out, and the whole team is now pushing mid together. Unfortunately though, when they were pushing market, the team stalls a lot and they end up getting spread out and no trades come through. Cypher dies from Killjoy on site, Brim dies mid, and neither of them are getting trades, causing them to lose the game. I believe that this round was lost because everybody was clumping up in mid. The entire team basically was in a huge clump in mid and giving the enemies a lot of room to work with, basically surrounding them and holding their every exit. They got surrounded because of their lack of map control. Running a 1-3-1 default would have been much better here, with 3 people working up mid and 2 people holding the extremities, ready to walk up once contact has been made. Honestly though, a B hit with 2 people going through B main and 3 people going mid would probably be the best take for this round, given they're a double initiator comp. In the end, they end up losing this game in overtime, and I don't believe that this game was Sova's fault. He did make a lot of mistakes throughout the VOD, but the combination of the lacking teamwork mixed with uncoordinated plays is what made the enemy team pick up leverage and take the upper hand. If Sova was using his mic more and coordinating his utility more with his team, they could have easily won this round, and I really do believe that it was just the teamwork and team play that costed them this game. Remember that once you start getting into these higher ranks like Ascendant, Immortal, and Radiant, teamwork becomes much more valuable because everyone has their mechanics down. Personally, I would just brush this game off and not worry about it too much because our Sova's aim and mechanics are very good. I saw him hit a lot of nasty shots throughout this VOD, but he really does need to work on his communication and his teamwork. Like I just said, in the higher ranks, these games become much more teamwork oriented, and the team that works together more is typically the team that wins the game. Hopefully he can take note of these mistakes that I noticed throughout the VOD, and if he just works on his teamwork and utility usage a bit, I can see him ranking up extremely fast. I hope you guys watching this video learned something as well, and if you did or enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like down below and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you to everybody who's joined my Discord server and submitted VODs. I just wanted to have VODs for these videos, but I got way more than I assumed that I would, so now I don't really know what to do with them, so I'm gonna try to find a way to do something and make use of those. These videos take a long time to make, so I really thank you guys for waiting and being patient for these uploads. You guys have been showing so much support on the channel recently, and I just cannot thank you guys enough for all of that. I love you guys. You are the best. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day or night to watch this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Yeah, shorties on my phone, they just want me cause I'm rich. Cartiers on my face, all this sauce, you see me drip. Yeah, smoking loud pack, I'll be coolin' with my bros. Memphis in the winters, and I close on to her toes. I just ran a check, not distracted by these souls. Lot of diamonds on my neck, I'm annoying all my foes. Every time I'm shawty hit my phone, she